welcome back to my channel. Happy Monday and happy Valentine's Day. We're starting another week of art school adventures and unfortunately it's freezing again. Last week you saw me frolicking in the 55-degree weather and I was so relieved to finally feel some sunshine. And now we're back to 17 and snowing, so I have to wait a little bit longer for spring, but I'm counting down the days. Anyway, let's head to campus. I started off the day with a relatively clean workspace and with the goal of mixing all the gouache colors that I needed to paint my anemone print. So basically, I'm mixing store-bought colors until they exactly match the color palette that I decided on for my project. This means lots of tiny adjustments and lots of paint swatching until the colors are absolutely perfect, which for me can get really messy. I couldn't quite match my colors like I'd hoped because I ran out of a lot of my paints in the middle of this process. So I did as much as I could and I got my colors as close as possible, and I'll pick up on it later this week. Some of my classmates also handed out Valentines, which made the morning really sweet. It's now lunchtime, so I'm gonna go find some food, and I'm also gonna go to Blick during my break because I realized when I was mixing paints in the last class that I was out of pretty much every color I needed to make my palette. I didn't have red, yellow, blue, white, pretty much all the most basic things you need to mix paint, so I'm gonna go paint shopping. I just got all of my Blick goodies and now I'm heading back to campus where I'm gonna switch gears and start working on my bedding collection. Last week, you saw me make these watercolored rings inspired by my project's theme of petrified wood. For our homework assignment, we were asked to bring in some mark making experiments to incorporate into our designs, which basically means that we could do whatever we want to make some interesting marks on paper. In my vlog from 2 weeks ago, our professor showed us a really cool marbling technique using shaving cream and watercolor dyes, and I thought that that could be really fun to incorporate into this project. Before starting this program, I never would have thought that so much of our time would be spent painting and mark making, especially in classes that are dedicated to digital software like my Photoshop class. But as you've seen in my vlogs, handmade artwork is very much a part of the textile design process. Especially mark making, because these messes that I'm making can eventually be digitally manipulated. They can be repeated, cut into shapes, layered, color changed, etc. The possibilities are literally endless. And using these handmade marks and textures gives our designs charming imperfection and opportunities to have fun and embrace the unexpected. Which is exactly how I love to make art. So as you can see, I've been having an amazing time with these kinds of assignments. Anyway, I just wanted to explain what's going on because I know it's a bit weird when I say that I'm working on a digital bedding collection and then you see me messing around with shaving cream. I also made some splatter paintings and some stripes that I made with a plastic fork and my watercolor dyes. After chatting with my teacher about my project so far, I decided that I wanted to make a few more shapes to work with. So I used a fork to create some more of those funky striped designs. But this time, I shaped them into a semicircle to emulate a wood grain texture. I really love how these turned out, and I can't wait to see what they're going to become as I continue working on this project throughout the semester. Thankfully, this smear can be fixed in Photoshop, even though my sweater can't. Hello again, I'm now getting out of class, and overall that class went really well. We had a lot of time to experiment with mark making and working on developing our concepts for our bedding collections, and I'm really happy with how mine's going so far. And my teacher really likes it too, which makes me really happy. Like, she even came up to me afterwards and was like, I'm really excited to see how this turns out. And that just feels really good. Not trying to brag, but it just made me happy. Anyway, it is Valentine's Day Eve, so I'm gonna meet up with Ryan. We're gonna make a nice home-cooked meal and hang out for the evening, so I'll see you tomorrow. Hello, happy Tuesday from Machida Print Marshmallow. I'm now heading to campus. I have my afternoon screen printing class, and I'm gonna keep working on my bugs and brooches print. So my backpack is filled with library books about beetles, costume jewelry, etc. I think it'll be a good day. I spent the whole class period drawing beetles to add to my collection of motifs for my first print. I wanted to try a slightly looser drawing style with this one, and I'm not really sure that I like how it turned out, so I drew another one that I liked a lot more and then bitmapped it. Hello again, I just got out of class. Tuesdays are definitely my shorter days, so I'm just gonna head home. I spent most of the class period working on my beetles, trying to come up with some sketches. One didn't work so well, one I'm pretty happy with, and I'm pretty much just gonna spend the rest of the night continuing to add to my pile of motifs. So I'll show you whatever turns out, and I'll see you tomorrow. Good morning, happy Wednesday. So I'm now heading to campus. I have my advanced professionals practice class, which is that class where I'm working on the anemone print. So I have to finish mixing all my paints. I'm gonna make another gigantic mess probably, and just chip away as much as I can on that project. Then I have Adobe Illustrator, and I don't actually know what we're doing in that class, so we'll find out together. Last week, I thought I printed out a to-scale version of my pattern layout, but it turns out I messed it up. So I spent the first part of class fixing my mistakes and then sent my corrected version to the print lab. I then went back to mixing my paints. Now that I had all the paint tubes that I needed, I could adjust the paints I mixed earlier in the week and finish the colors that I didn't get to. I made one pot of paint that precisely matched each swatch on my mood board. And then I made halftones of each color, which basically means that I'm taking a little bit of each of my colors and mixing it 50-50 with white paint. In the industry, you can only use so many colors for a print before the fabric gets really expensive, which is why we're working with such limited, precise palettes. But halftones are easy for a rotary printer to make because it's just mixing what you already have with white, so we're not counting them towards our color limits. And now I have twice as many paints to work with in my design. After class, I went to the print lab to pick up the new version of my anemone layout, and then I went to my Adobe Illustrator class. Hello again, I'm finally out of my Adobe class, and I'm really hungry and looking forward to dinner. So I'm meeting Ryan again in Koreatown at my favorite barbecue chicken place, and we're gonna enjoy dinner together, so I'll see you afterwards. Why? Good morning, happy Thursday. So today is my really long day. I have screen printing in the morning, a 6-hour break, and then my night class. So I'm gonna get a lot of things done today, hopefully. And hopefully it's also gonna be a really good day, so let's go. In class, we were given more time to work on our motifs, so I continued adding to my bug and brooch collection. These drawings take me a long time, and next week we're gonna start working on our print layouts, so I have to start drawing a little bit faster. Hello again, so my screen printing class ended, I went to go get some lunch, and now I'm gonna go find a classroom to camp out in for the next 6 hours, so hopefully I can find a spot and hopefully I can get some stuff done. Hello again, so I just finished all the homework I needed to do for tonight, and I'm really tired of just staring at the computer all day, so I decided to go for a walk, and the weather is actually really nice right now. I think it's like 60 degrees, which, like, I know I complain about the weather a lot, but I feel like it's justified. I mean, it went from like 20 degrees to 60 the next day. It's pretty crazy, so I'm gonna take advantage of this. Just gonna explore the neighborhood a little bit, see if there are any cute stores, and then head to class after. Of course, I found myself wandering into a few thrift stores. I definitely did not anticipate going shopping today, but you know, if you've seen my vlogs before, that I am definitely a sucker for like fun vintage sweaters and jackets with really crazy motifs on them. So when I saw that leather jacket with the roses on it, I knew I had to have it. So once I get that dry cleaned, you'll probably see that in a future video. Anyway, I'm now heading to class, so I'll see you afterwards. Finally done. I can finally head home, so I'll see you tomorrow. Hello, happy Friday. It's finally Friday. So in preparation for today's gigantic day of weaving, I have weaving class literally all day today. We were asked to wear or bring in some kind of plaid item that we could try to emulate in our digital software called Point Carré. So today I'm wearing a plaid blazer that I thrifted, and I wanted to show you, I decided to decorate it with those bee brooches that I got 2 weeks ago in my vlog. So they're right here. So if you saw that video, you might recognize these little guys. So I'm feeling all cute and decorated, and I'm ready for the day, so let's go! We started the class by examining our outfits, taking measurements of the repeats, counting warp and weft threads, and setting up our colors. Then we went back to the block weave projects that we started last week and planned our warp threadings, which we'll thread on our looms after the lunch break. It's like comically windy today. Look at my hair! This is ridiculous! After lunch, we grabbed our tiny Structo 8 harness looms and started threading. Afterwards, I worked with the professor to try to figure out the weave structure of my blazer because it was much too complicated for me to work out on my own. Hello again. So I just got out of my weaving class and I managed to finish threading my entire loom, which feels really good. So now I can enjoy my long weekend and not have to worry about that. Thank you so much for joining me on my art school adventures this week. And if you'd like to see some more of my FIT shenanigans and how my projects progress, hit that subscribe button and I will see you in next week's video. Bye!